Hi, I'm Jim Kinney, the editorial director of Baker Academic and Brazos Press, divisions of Baker Publishing Group here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I'm going to take a few minutes here at the end of the year to look back and look forward at some of our Brazos books that seem to be getting quite a lot of attention. For example, Philip Carey's Good News for Anxious Christians was recently reviewed very positively in Christianity Today. The subtitle of this book is self-explanatory. It's 10 practical things you don't have to do. In just under 200 pages, Carey debunks a lot of the popular Christian teachings that tend to cause anxiety and stress for believers. Another book that a lot of people are paying attention to is James K.A. Smith's Letters to a Young Calvinist. In response to the new Calvinism movement that seems to be talked about everywhere, Jamie Smith writes letters to a fictional student that try to unpack the riches of a deep and wide Reformed tradition. Now, at a more elevated level, but no less fascinating, is Paul's New Moment, Continental Philosophy, and the Future of Christian Theology. One of the more fascinating developments in philosophy these days is the rediscovery of the Apostle Paul by atheistic or agnostic European philosophers. And in this book we have a European philosopher, Slavoj Žižek, and a radical Orthodox theologian, John Milbank, assisted by someone who studied with both of them, Creston Davis, and we also have a contribution by Catherine Pickstock. This book has already been talked about quite a bit, and I think it will be talked about a lot more in 2011. Our Brazos Theological Commentary project continues to unfold. In 2010 we released 1 Samuel by Francesca Aaron Murphy, who used to be at the University of Aberdeen but now teaches at Notre Dame. And at the recent Society of Biblical Literature meetings, in a review session, Richard Hayes of Duke was effusive in his praise of Joseph Mangina's Revelation volume, and we promptly sold out of all the copies that we had. Now, just in December, we received in our warehouse, in time for the first of the year, 6 volumes of the Ancient Future Bible Study. This is a new project by Stephen Binns, who's a biblical scholar and a popular speaker. And in this Bible study project that features different characters of the Bible, Binns uses the ancient practice of Lectio Divina to provide a Bible study approach for either groups or for individuals to help them experience a transforming engagement with the Word of God. I'll mention 2 other projects that aren't yet ready but will be coming in 2011 and will generate a lot of excitement. The first one is by Christian Smith, the sociologist from Notre Dame, and Smith is writing a book called The Bible Made Impossible for Us. Now, his work is well known, his work on the spirituality of American teenagers and emerging adults, his work on race in evangelical churches, giving in American churches, and now here he's turning to another contemporary problem, which is, or contemporary issue, which is evangelical views of the Bible. And in this book, he's arguing that there's a pervasive view he calls evangelical biblicism that's not just ineffective, but it's actually impossible. And so he sets forth the case for the impossibility of evangelical biblicism, and then unpacks his own presentation of what he calls a truly evangelical reading of the Bible. I'm sure that book's going to generate a lot of discussion. And one more book that also will get a lot of attention, and that is a book by Miroslav Volf, who teaches at Yale. And Volf writes for us a book called A Public Faith. And in this he presents a case for a compelling Christianity that's, in our multicultural and religiously diverse world, is both distinctive and yet cooperative in trying to promote truly human flourishing, or true human flourishing. And we're looking for very good things from the Volf book. Now at Brazos Press we use this little tagline, the tradition alive. And we do that to describe our publishing endeavor, and I think you can see why with the books that we've just mentioned, because here we have authors with deeply held Christian convictions who are writing books that generate vigorous and lively debate about topics of contemporary significance. So we look to do more and more of that in 2011, and we thank you for your interest in Brazos Books.